Good morning, Zio here, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you should go ahead and do so now. Because if you're not, I'm just disappointed in you. Anyway, to start today off, I apologize. No video today. I got um, working super late, dead tired, slept all day, went straight back to work, and again, here it is after midnight, and worked late again, and now we're doing this so we can have this for later today. So, I guess with all that, let's have a viral update. What has happened around town recently? What's been going on? Well, I have found a mountain of toilet paper at the Dollar General Market. It's currently limit 3 per person, and it is strictly enforced. Although I believe the armed guards are a bit excessive, but I do live in the South and we do like our guns, and I'd hate to be that person who decides they're going to try and sneak a 4th one up to the register because that didn't turn out too good for the last guy. And on top of all of that, turns out everything closes down at 7 suddenly. Found that out when I was working late and tried to get lunch. It's 8. Actually kind of early for me at that point in time, but turns out everything is now shutting down around town about 7. With the exception of Arby's and McDonald's. So if you need something to eat and you're decide you're not going to be picky anymore because you have no other choices, there's your 2 choices. Although they've also shut down their dining areas, so it's a grab and go scenario, but at least that's something. And I guess with all that, let's just get into yeah, it's late. I'm pretty off. It's also like, I think day 5 of no school, but I still have plenty of coffee. And that one was to be expected. No, expected. I was anticipating having 5 days with no school because it is currently spring break. But next week, it might be hard getting. Anyway, so Marvel has done a thing. I don't talk about comic books that much, to be totally honest. I haven't been into the comic book sphere since the 90s. But, I do keep touch with a lot of things, and, the comic books hadn't been doing so well lately. And Marvel has done a thing. They have, on one hand, they need to be laughed at. On the other hand, they did something unique. As asinine as it is, they did do something unique. So we're gonna sit here. We're gonna make fun of this as well as we are going to critique it and take an objective look at it, at these new warriors, these new heroes, and take a look at their powers, their weaknesses, and whether or not these heroes are hero tier or sidekick tier. My opinion, of course. This is strictly my opinion on, just what they have to offer, what we know what they have to offer, what they bring to the table, whether or not they're going to actually be a hero or if they should be relegated to the sidekick and probably shouldn't be on the front lines of anything, but there's a few of them. But yeah, I guess that's what we're doing today. That is totally what we're doing. But hey, you have to commend them, because when you go and take a look at these things, especially the people who are in, like, say, the Comicsgate type thing, a lot of people like myself and others have said, make your own heroes. Stop adapting our heroes, the original heroes, into something they're not, changing them, gender bending them, doing all these other things, and make your own thing, make a new hero. And time after time, it's now we're taking Thor and we're making Thor female, and we're going to do this, that, and the other, and cram all this, ideology and this politics into it, and it doesn't sell, right? And they've taken that with Iron Man and done all these other things, with several regular heroes that have a past, that have a thing, because they can't really create their own. And they finally done it. They've done a few. I'm not gonna lie, I just don't really keep up with it, so I can't sit here and quote every single one of them that they've done. Unfortunately, of course, they don't really put any good story, and one thing that a comic book needs is story. If you don't have a good story to go with the heroes, with the comics, you know, it's a dead book. It's DOA, and it doesn't survive past, you know, the 12th issue or something, if it even gets that far. You know, they've rebooted, I think, Captain America. They've rebooted Captain Marvel, I don't know how many times recently in the past 5 or 6 years at this point. To the point that, okay, it's not surprising if they do another reboot. They restart it again. But we have the New Warriors here, and the creator of the New Warriors, or at least the first episode, the first you know, comic of this one shot, apparently going to happen, and you know, he's come up with some unique ideas, and the names, well, the memes just write themselves at this point. There's no need for us to even do anything anymore because they just write themselves. It has gotten to the point that we make a meme, and then a few months later, the meme becomes reality, and I'm not sure how I feel about this. But anyway, we have the New Warriors. We've got our new cast right down here, and apparently we can't actually see my mouse. Anyway, we fixed that. We can now maybe see it. I don't know. There we go. There we go. All right, so we can see what we're pointing at, right? Here's our new cast right here. These are going to be the new Warriors, right? And we've got our lovely couple here. You know, the guys, another guy who is another guy. We've got this chick here and another dude over here. So let's just take a look right here, and take a look all the way down and get to the good stuff. So our first one here is going to be OK Boomer, right? His name is apparently Screen Time. My name for him is OK Boomer. That's apparently what he is. This guy is an interesting fella, right? We've got a meme-obsessed super teen. Now, you know, before we get into the bio, this is what I thought, right? See, I watched the video kind of passively, so I didn't catch everything that was going on. So I want to go through over my thoughts of what these people were going to be capable of versus what they apparently actually are capable of. So OK Boomer here, I was thinking, oh, this guy is going to be able to control technology. Sounds cool, sounds great. I love that idea. You know, it wouldn't be the first time, of course, but, you know, sure, why not? You know, there's been a hero to control everything out there at this point in time. Reusing some powers, no biggie for new heroes, a new time, a new group. That's fine. I got no problem with that, reusing some things. You know, this guy would be able to control technology, right? He'd be controlled the wires, you know, kind of like how Magneto controls metal and stuff, but instead he controls technology. He can, you know, control electronic cars, robots, computers, whatever else, do his bidding to make, you know, things turn against their creators, get out of tight spots or whatever. You know, be able to move the wires like little snakes or something. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. That's not what he does. Yeah, that is totally not what he does. I'm so sorry. What I thought could have been cool, you know, this guy's got nothing. So we've got a meme-obsessed super teen whose brain becomes connected to the internet after becoming exposed to his grandfather's experimental internet cast. Now he can see augment reality, and real-time maps. Oh geez, he's got Google Glass at all times in his eyes, and can instantly Google any fact. A walking, talking Ask Jeeves. Does this make him effectively a genius? Sure, acts like it does. There's a difference between an actual genius and somebody who's Googling the answers to every question you ask in the blink of an eye. Yeah. I want to have a teen character who felt as now as the New Warriors did in 1990s. Not the guy. You should have gave him control of technology, not of Google Maps. Explains Kibblesmith. That name. Anyway, the New Warriors have been zeitgeist characters from the beginning. You get edgy skateboarding Night Thrasher in the 90s and a reality TV team in the 2000s, and now in 2020, I don't know anything about the 2000s reality TV scene. Anyway, I barely know the 90s, but we have a new warrior who has never grown up without the internet. The one character who appears to essentially live inside it. The word screen time. Oh, yeah, by the way, they have real names, not just the names I have given them. OK Boomer's real name is Screen Time, not Screen Rant, not Screen Saver, not something maybe more palatable. It's Screen Time. Is only ever used in sort of a restrictive sense. And because we're doing a story about teenage rebels, a lot of names about these teens fight against labels that are put on them. So with Screen Time, we like the idea that he has infinite screen time. Yeah, he does. He's completely connected to the net by experimental internet. Can somebody explain to me what experimental internet gas is? Look, I got, comic book science and TV science and movie science and things like that, where things just work. They have nonsense names or whatever. They have names that sound really important and it works. But internet gas? Like, was it gas filled with like fiber optic particles that got bombarded by gamma radiation that caused, and because it was next to like an Ethernet port on a modem or something, it got itself electrically charged by a zap from the interwebs when lightning struck it, causing the canister to explode, and then gave this kid access to the internet at all times. So what is he good at? He's a normal human with a, they say, super teen, right? Whose brain is connected to the internet. However, there's nothing super about him other than he's an walking, talking Ask Jeeves, right? You can ask him anything, he can Google it. He can Wikipedia it, he can Google it, he can surf Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Gab, and anything else in the blink of an eye in seconds. He's the ultimate doxer who creates memes, or who loves to surf memes or something. Meme obsessed, right? Dude has no power other than that, and is completely useless unless you need an answer to something right then and there. He can bring it up. Now, what are they going to do with him? I have a feeling they're going to tweak his abilities to make him seem, like a genius, of course, because they're hinting at it in this, because he's going to be able to Google any answer, but they're going to be having him tapping into systems he has no business or right being into, right? He's got access to the internet, will get him access to anything that your PC can access, correct? However, what your PC can't access are government systems and things like that, top secret stuff. Maybe the big bad's intranet, not internet, and things like that. But this guy is going to somehow be able to probably tap into all of those closed systems that he doesn't have access to through the miracles of comic books. And that's how they're going to play him off. Is he a hero or sidekick, though? Clearly he's a sidekick. Dude is not a hero. He is straight up sidekick bait. That's it. Straight up sidekick, because he's going to be giving some other hero all the answers they need to do something when they suddenly need to know how many or how fast they need to run, to rotate, to disengage, whatever, this, that, and the other, at the speed of, whatever. And he's going to be able to give them the proper calculation in an instant, and that's it. That's what this guy is capable of doing. So, OK Boomer, sidekick. Let's go to the next one. We have Discount Iceman and Bubble Wrap, also known as Snowflake and Safe Space. Anyway, so we got a couple of guys here, right? Who I guess they're dating, right? According to the cover, it looks like they're dating. And they are apparently psychic. Okay, so these people are not dating. They're psychic twins. Can we go up here and look at this? Hey, comic book people, can we learn what it's like to be brother and sister? Seriously? Or brothers or sisters or something of that nature? We don't all live in West Virginia. Sorry, West Virginia, but you're always my go-to. But yeah, we don't do that. They look like... Anyway, I'm not even touching that with a 10-foot pole. We're going to go on. So we've got psychic twins. All twins are psychic, but we're psychic-er. Really? Oh. Not gonna make it through this, am I? Snowflake, aka Discount Iceman, is a cryogenic, can materialize snowflake-shaped shuriken projections for throwing. Alright? Safe Space can materialize pink force fields, but he can't inhabit them himself. The reflex only works if he is protecting others. They're hyper aware of modern culture and optics, and they see their superheroics as a post-ironic meditation on using violence to combat bullying. Because of course they are. They're probably streaming this. Really? Oh, okay. Snowflake and Bubble Wrap are twins, the writer says, and their names are very similar to Screen Time. It is the idea of these... You're not taking back the terms and turning it into something amazing. Just shut it. Shut up about that. Quit. Just stop. Anyway, and they don't see him as derogatory. That's fine. You can't, but everybody is laughing about them behind their backs. Or no, I'm sorry. They're laughing about them in their faces. Anyway, they take those words and kind of wear them as badges of honor. More power to them. They're still stupid. Safe Space is a big, burly, sort of stereotypical jock. This is Safe Space, right? Let's look at this. Big, burly, sort of stereotypical jock. I don't see it. Anyway, he can create force fields, but he can only trigger them if he is protecting somebody else. Snowflake is a non-binary and goes by... Anyway, he has the power to generate individual crystallized snowflake-shaped shurikens, and I hope he can do more than just do that. Anyway, the connotations of the word snowflake is our cultural right now are something fragile, and this character who is turning it into something sharp. You can still be sharp and fragile, just saying. Anyway, doesn't help. Snowflake is a person who has more offensive power, and Safe Space is a person who has more defensive power. The idea is that they would mirror each other and complement each other. Okay, got it. That's fine. So, let's see. Safe Space can make force fields, but can only protect other people, and can't apparently inhabit them himself. Is that right? And Snowflake over here can shoot ice shurikens. Alright, so strengths, weaknesses, all that good stuff. What do we got? We got Discount Iceman here. Discount Iceman is probably going to do a lot of the same things Iceman does. I'm just going to go throw it out right now. I know they're just saying that he can make shurikens and throw them like a ninja. He's going to do everything Iceman can, probably. Just saying. And as a result, he's got some power behind him. He can do something. That puts him on the hero tier. He is not a sidekick. He can actually whip some tail with ice, even if it is just shurikens. I mean, he's got something, right? He's going to be fast. He's going to be nimble. He's going to be jumping over the candlestick and rocking out like a ninja. Safe Space, on the other hand, is a pure defensive type who can't inhabit his own force fields. So when I first heard about it, I was thinking telekinetic force fields, right? You create a barrier, boom, falls in front of you, whatever. Can't inhabit them himself, so makes me feel like it's going to be a bubble. Therefore, you are now bubble wrap. But yeah, so if his force fields are purely bubble-like or box-like or something like that, kind of sucks. I was thinking more force fieldy, like a wall, which means you don't have to technically inhabit them to put them up in front of you. Just saying. I don't know if you understand how force fields work or whatnot, but if you can project a force field, you can project sort of this telekinetic wall that stops projectiles and other things from, impacting you. It doesn't have to actually surround an object completely. It can be partial. It can just be in front of you, which of course means he's not technically inhabiting it, which means he can actually defend himself. Of course, I've also heard people throw it around and say, so Safe Space is literally useless in a one-on-one fight. No, Safe Space is not useless in a one-on-one fight and could probably kill a villain. Just saying. If you want to know how I got to that, let's think about this for a second. If Safe Space is smart and not actually a dumb jock, like they're trying to make him out to be, Safe Space can do quite a bit with his force fields. So Safe Space gets bound up, right? Whether it's through chains or handcuffs or bars or something, I don't know, bounds up. Safe Space projects a force field in between the molecules or the little rings or whatever it is that's binding them, and just slowly expands it until the binds break. All right, so Safe Space is not going to keep himself locked up. They're not going to keep him locked up or anything like that, right? He's going to break out. If Safe Space really wants to, he can use his abilities offensively, even if they are just bubble-like, or square-like, that he can't inhabit himself. He can put them around the big bad. He's probably never going to do this, but Safe Space could put a bubble around the big bad and slowly, remove the oxygen in the area until Big Bad passes out. Therefore, Safe Space has done his heroic duty of stopping the Big Bad without technically killing them. And if Safe Space wants to go down the murderous route, Safe Space could make his bubble shrink slowly and surely until it crushes every bone, nook, and cranny of the Big Bad until there's nothing left but a gooey mess. That just sounds kind of disturbing and something a villain would do. But Safe Space could do it. Technically, defensive bubbles could be used offensively depending on how it's implemented. And to be totally honest, Safe Space would hit the hero tier at that, because if Safe Space is smart, got to stop saying Safe Space. If he is smart enough, he can use his actual abilities offensively and defensively at the same time. Of course, there's the shortcoming of he seems to only be able to trigger them if he's protecting somebody else. So that kind of throws a wrench in my system there. But, yeah. Just saying, it's possible. It's a thing. Yeah. So the next one, because this video is running long, is the guy everybody forgets. Be negative. The reason why I'm calling him the guy everybody forgets is because he technically is the one that everybody forgets. And this guy clearly is straight up hero tier. Everybody barely talks about him. I have hardly heard anything about him. I had to go and read his bio just to even figure out what the heck he is, because anytime anyone has talked about him, they're like, be negative, laughs. That's it. Vampire Kid. So apparently Vampire Kid is a living teen vampire exposed to Michael Morbius's blood as a child, and a rogue but life-saving medical procedure. He still ages like a regular kid, but has all the abilities of Morbius. He is also obsessed with all the music and attitude of classic long past decades like the 90s and the 2000s. The world is a vampire, and so am I. Okay, so kid listens to Marilyn Manson or Evanescence, and that's about it. Oh, he was exposed to Morbius's blood. B negative is a goth kid. He was, or when when he was a baby, got a rogue life-saving blood transfusion. We assume from Michael Morbius. For some odd reason, they couldn't find anybody else but Michael Morbius to transfuse some blood to this kid. And now he is very similar looking and very similar vampire powers. Shares Killsmith. B negative ages like a regular person, or does he? And he definitely drinks blood, or does he? Is that necessary? But designer, artist, whoever, took brilliant inspiration from the 90s Spider-Man cartoon and gave B negative the leech suckers that the animated version of Morbius has on his palms. Okay, cool, whatever. If you're probably asking yourself who Michael Morbius is this is Michael Morbius. He is from the Spider-Man universe. He was a scientist. There was a thing. He became part vampire. He became somewhat of an anti-hero and all this other stuff. Anyway, there's a whole thing on him. He's got vampiric powers, but he's not like a true vampire, so he doesn't have all the ill effects of being a vampire, and it's his whole ordeal. It's pretty cool, though. So, B negative, definitely hero tier. If he's anything like Morbius, he can definitely be hero tier. No problems, no questions asked. Then the last one, we have Diabetes. Trailblazer over here. I'm a horrible human being. Anyway, Trailblazer is a horrible person. Is a regular kid scooped up into the world of teenage superheroing. Her magic backpack is actually a pocket dimension with similar infinite space, but from which she can pull out useful or random objects. It's not always under her control. She claims to get her power from God, but not the God you're thinking. What does that even mean? You're either getting it from, like, forget it. Anyway, she has a group of, she's a group home and foster kid who volunteers at a senior center where a mysterious threat shows up, and Night Thrasher runs out to rescue. The scribe adds, and because she helps him, she ends up in the crosshairs of a new outlawed law. Anyway, Trailblazer wants to help people, but she doesn't think of herself as a superhero yet. Gibblesmith concludes that the Marvel Universe is a reflection of our own, and when new laws get put into place, it affects people in unforeseen ways. Anyway, so Trailblazer over here has a magic backpack. My first thought was, okay, cool, magic backpack gives her magic powers, like ring out there gives people magic powers, gives them abilities and things like that, and other maybe magical artifacts and stuff. And no, it's just a glorified bag of holding. That's it. It opens up into multiple pocket dimensions where she may or may not be able to control what she pulls out. She could pull out a ray gun. She could pull out a swarm of deadly man-eating locusts. Doesn't really matter because she has no real control over it, or will eventually learn control over it. She has no powers whatsoever. I love how they give these people, calling them superhuman, without actually giving them any superhuman powers, because you've got OK Boomer and her over here who literally have zero power other than one can connect to the internet and meme all day, and the other one can reach into her backpack and pull out ice cream at any given moment. Wow. Those people are completely useless, and she definitely falls into the sidekick category. No hero here because can't do anything. So unless she gets some kind of exoskeleton or armor or something to enhance her strength or give her something else to do, she literally does nothing but hand off things to people or pull out something that is conveniently useful at the moment for people to use, like a skeleton key or something when they need to hack into something, the skeleton key card, or something like that, because she has no abilities. So what can a big bad do to neutralize her? Her and screen time both can be easily neutralized by a conk on the back of the head, or a gun to the face, or anything else of that nature being vaporized or something, because they cannot withstand anything of that, because they are nothing more than human beings with no superpowers. At least Morbius can move out of the way and possibly dispatch the enemy before they actually hit them or notice them coming. Yes, Kid Morbius. B negative, the guy everybody forgets, that guy, he's got superhuman strength and actual powers, unlike most of the others. B negative, what's the other one? Let's roll up. Snowflake and Safe Space can protect everybody, not himself apparently, and Snowflake can at least throw shurikens at people. So at least those two have something that they can do, and they can actually be honed into actual heroes when, when Snowflake learns to be discount Iceman, and Safe Space learns to actually project proper, barriers to do something else other than just bubble around somebody. But yeah, that's about all I got. These are a thing. Yep. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. See ya.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.